Hello, and welcome back to my channel. This is Reality with DVD. How you doing? Are you ready for some popping? Let's talk about Shannon, Sharpe, and Shadeur Sanders. Now, we talk a little sports over here when it goes over into the gossip. Shout out to Mother Wendy. How you doing? So let's talk some sports today. And since Shannon Sharpe is in the news for everything other than sports, let's talk about it. Okay, so we're gonna start with Shadeur Sanders. Uh Sort of Jacksonian, but not. um, here's the thing. Here's the thing. The black people are mad, y'all. The black people are up to the set. Because they think that this young boy was not chosen, one, because of his father and his name. But which is it? Is it that he didn't get chosen because of his father and his name? Or is it that he started with Jackson State and Colorado because of his father and his name? Now, I come from an era of watching Steve McNair play football, okay? And I do often compare them, and trust me, Shadeur is no Steve McNair. Now, is he good enough to play secondary quarterback? Possibly. Is he good enough to go first round in the draft? Hell no. Not the fuck from what I seen. Y'all, we got to be honest. Sometimes, especially when it comes to skill and talent, just like with LeBron's boy, we got to keep it real. You can be great at something and you can be okay at something. And then when you are just okay at something, then you may get that thing because you are someone who is already famous child. Because the same thing applies to a non-experienced, an inexperienced coach that was able to coach at Jackson State for the time that he was able to coach. Let's keep it real. It was simply because it was for his name, number one, and number two, I've always said this. Deion Sanders knew that he could use a black school as a stepping stone. But nobody is keeping it real and saying just as soon as he felt like it was time to eliminate his his coaching skills, and when he honed in on them and got a little bit better, it was time to go to the white schools, which is fine with me. I don't give two shakes of rattlesnake's ass because I told y'all Jacksonians that he was gonna go. Shadeur ain't a tiger. That's a buffalo. That's the first thing. Okay, and for some reason, Pappy had in his head that the boy couldn't go pro from a black school. His stats damn sure would look better coming out of Jackson State. Because them stats look real shaky over there down to that white school. Real shaky. And that's probably what the draft committee is looking at. Them shaky ass stats from Colorado. And then people like, because he went to Jackson State. His damn stats at Jackson State was extraordinary. Right? I'm not of that belief that, if you go to a black school, you can't go pro. I'm of the belief that if you are good enough, no matter what school you come out of, you can go pro. Now, everybody wants to bring up how Tom Brady went out in the sixth round or the second round. The sixth pick in the second round. I think that's what it was. Whatever it was. This boy is no Tom Brady. We're going to keep it real or not? Or we just going to let his daddy's star power cloud our judgment and not keep it real? Because remember, I seen him play in person. I have seen him play in person. I'm not impressed. And if more black people were honest, they would be honest about it and see that they weren't impressed either. Now everybody's like, oh well, they want to humble him because his daddy is arrogant. Yes, his dad is an arrogant asshole. But can it just be that he's just an okay quarterback? And my understanding, when you play for the NFL, they want you to be great, not just okay. Or not just above average, but above, and beyond average. And Steve McNair was that for me. But again, if you are good, if you are great and above, and you excel at what you do, it does not matter what school you go to, in my opinion. That's just my opinion. Say what you want to say. I don't give two shakes of rattlesnake's eggs. I'm keeping it real over here. Now, let's get on down to Shannon Sharpe, y'all. I was minding my own business. And things keep dropping in my lap. Now, I saw him in that tight suit. And he was busting loose. He felt like busting loose out that tight ass suit. Okay. We are, as Black people, are under the impression that it takes white women to take down a Black man. Let me say this again. We are under the impression that it takes white women to take down a Black man. And if these men who are accused of SA were with Black women, these things wouldn't be happening. Now, I say that you choose the preference and you go down is what it is. Okay? My thing is, historically speaking, there are Caucasian women that have a tendency to know that their word is worth more than Black women's words during these incidents. Okay? I don't believe for 1 second that if Shannon Sharpe didn't deal with Black women, that he wouldn't do the same thing, because that's in him. But let's be real. That's not what he wants. His preference is Caucasian women. Just like Martin Luther King, let's keep it real, the junior preference was white women. That's what they want. And again, that's why Martin Luther King pressed so hard for integration. And that's why white men were so against integration, because they knew that white women also fetishized Black men. And then a lot of time in this fetishizing of Black men, if a Black man decided that they didn't want them, which was the case a lot of times that was the case, the white women would often cry babe. And this is the history that carried forward to Black men, right? It carried forward to Bill Cosby. It carried forward to R. Kelly. But R. Kelly, most of his victims were Black. But then it still was you trying to bring a Black man down. It was Black women saying that other Black women were trying to bring a Black man down. Again, which one is it? How about this? How about we take the historic element out of it and just see it for what it is? That these men could have possibly did the things that they are being accused of doing. What is so fucking hard about that to understand? I will say this though. Let's keep it real also. When white women date Black men, they know the power that they have. They know the power that they have if they lie. Okay? We're going to keep it real with that as well. But with Bill Cosby, and Shannon Sharpe, their preference is white women. Knowing, because if you look at Bill Cosby's history and you look at the story of what happened with him and all of these sexual assault cases, one woman that came forward was black, and that only woman was Beverly Johnson that I can recall. But my point is to say, these are their preferences. And especially with Bill Cosby, he looked at it as, well, since I can't have these women, I'm going to treat them like the submissive that I want them to be. I want them to submit to this big, black, burly. It's all about sex, if you will. Sex and power. They want to show the Caucasian male that I can have power and dominance over your woman. But things can always take a turn. Telling the truth or telling a lie if that woman exerts her power as a white woman. Things can turn very ugly very quickly for that black man, regardless. Do I believe Shannon Sharpe is innocent? Nope. Do I believe that Bill Cosby was innocent? Nope. Do I believe R. Kelly was innocent? Nope. Now just keep in mind, these things are my opinion and all alleged. But by the evidence, I don't believe that these men are innocent at all. Because, again, it's about power and domination. And it's about showing the Caucasian man, I can get the woman that you hold in such high esteem. Why the fuck do you think that there is a $5,000 price tag on a Caucasian baby? Now, y'all can say what you want to say and say that Trump is trying to control the woman's uterus if you want to. He's not controlling the woman's uterus. He's controlling the white woman's uterus. Because ain't no birth rates decreasing in the black community. Guess what they decreasing is over there? For one, because of the black male and his preference to date white women. So 9 times out of 10, when these white men, when these black men date these white women and produce a child, it ain't no race for biracial. And I bet you any amount of money, knock on wood, listen to me, Linda. White men regret that damn one-drop rule that they came up with. Because now it's working in the reverse against them. Because these biracial children are coming out in bigger numbers. And in most numbers, even if they are raised by white women, they consider themselves black. Even if that white woman educates them and tells them that they are biracial. Most of them still consider themselves black because of what? Say it with me. The one-drop rule. Now back to Shannon Sharpe. Said all that to say, y'all, the black women are not caping for Shannon. Shannon said the other day he was talking to his white tooth buddy, Chad Ochocinco, who's another one who don't prefer the Negroid woman. Let's keep it real. Now, most of them early babies is black with black women. Now, I can pregnate them, but them right there, they weren't good enough to marry. I want to marry me a Shanice, and I want to marry me a Evelyn. And over here, I wants to be a BDSM man who dominates Caucasian women. Okay? He was like saying these words. Well, why don't I? Well, y'all telling me to date a black woman and date a woman my own age. This is an ignorant motherfucker. Big black goofy ass. Never Charles looking motherfucker. Talking about something. Why don't I date my wage? Well, motherfucker, if you dated black women who didn't let you do that BDSM shit on them, it's a very high percentage of black women that can bring six-figure and better jobs to the table that they have to the table. But your preference was to date a white woman straight out of jail, younger, 19 years of age, and try that BDSM shit on her, being young and naive and stupid. I guess you watching 50 Shades of Grey. And thought you were going to be a Christian over there. And run this much, much younger woman. But she knew how to get them dollars. She know how to take you to court. She knows the former power and current power of being a white woman and making an accusation against the the black man. She know that. But you didn't know that she was going to use that on you, did you? Again, you's an ignorant motherfucker. So whatever little piece of whatever you getting right now, you deserve it. And thank you, black women, for not caping for this some bitch. Now, if you could stop caping for the rest of them, shout out to Jonathan Matthews. If I was a superstar like Megan Good, I wouldn't have gave that motherfucker the time of day. He has said in interviews that she has to put her career on the line for him. I know you fucking lying. And you could see him getting into it with the girl on tape. And he was convicted. But let me get on to this. Another woman has come forward, or a previous accuser. I wouldn't say she came forward, but we found out about another accuser. And this information, I'm sorry, my sources, remember everything is alleged, and in my opinion, let's get on into it. People is coming forward as well, saying another woman has accused Shannon Sharpe of sexual abuse in the past in a defamation lawsuit. Say it ain't so. Say it ain't so. A representative for Sharpe called the allegations ridiculous in a statement to Page 6. Okay, so what I'm understanding about this lady is that this was a Michelle, y'all. And when I first found out it was Michelle, I thought it was that Michelle. But this is a different Michelle, I think, because this lady is Caucasian and the Michelle that we saw was black. Okay, so a woman is suing Shannon Sharpe for an alleged defamation. Also alleges in a complaint the NFL Hall of Famer actually assaulted her in 2010. Michelle Evans filed, I guess they can say her name because she's not a teeny tiny child. Michelle Evans filed a lawsuit against Sharpe in 2023, nearly 2 years before another woman suing him under the name of Jane Doe accused Sharpe of aping her in a lawsuit filed in Nevada earlier this week. Sharpe has strongly denied all allegations in the Nevada suit, claiming the relationship was between him and old girl Gabby was consensual and is a shakedown. In the New York complaint obtained by People, Evans, who is representing herself, claims that she had been in a relationship with Shannon Sharpe for nearly a decade, ending in 2010, when she says that things got ugly between them. She alleged that he committed infidelity during their relationship, and she alleges that Sharpe then requested that the two have sex. She refused, and then he began to forcefully subdue her and assault her. He told her to get on her knees, and he subsequently engaged her into oral penetration. The complaint alleges, despite my protests, he persisted in this violation of my body. It was further claimed that the assault continued beyond the alleged forcible oral acts. Thereafter, Shannon's coercion escalated as he maneuvered into me and maneuvered me into the bed into a non-consensual vaginal penetration assault, all the while proclaiming his intent to make it so no other man would want me, Evans alleges. Though Evans is not suing Sharpe for sexual assault, she claims that he threatened to ruin her reputation, and the ensuing media commentary was, I'm reading this, and I don't know if that word is rife. Whew. Girl, I'm 50 years old. RIFE, rife with defamation commentary. I don't know what that means. Okay, I'm just gonna keep it real. Because at first I thought the word was knife, and then I was like, not rife. Rife with defamation commentary, assailing my professional reputation. Okay, and right there I am going to close. Just remember, everything is alleged, and in my opinion, she is alleging that he has tried to ruin her in the press, even though I have never heard of this story before. She's saying that that these things actually happen to her, while again Shannon Sharpe is denying all allegations. The Michelle Evans case and the Gabby Zuniga case. So just keep that in mind when you all watch this video. Come on in, like, comment, subscribe to my channel, hit the notification bell button. Make sure you comment. Let me know what you think. Do you really think that this is a shakedown of black men? Or should these black men who don't want black women just date us in order to stay out of these situations? But let's think about this. For the safety of black women, let's leave them over there. Can we think about that? Because it is quite possible that these things could happen to black women as well. If these men with these abusive tendencies and BDSM tendencies start dating over here. So when they have those tendencies, let's leave them over there where they comfortable. Okay? And I'm just saying, I don't want this to happen to anyone. Let me be clear. Because like I said, I was on girl's side with the Jonathan Majors case. But I'm just saying, don't bring them over here where we at. Leave them over there where they want to be. And with that, I'm going to close again. Like, comment, subscribe. Tell me what you think. Do you really believe that this man is being railroaded? That's the first thing I want to know. Or do you think that it's quite possible that these women are telling the truth, whether they are white or not? Because I think, like I said, a lot of times we have a tendency to just jump on the man's side. Not in Shannon's case, but in most cases, because we think that an Emmett Till thing is going on, or just the historic history or Rosewood thing of these women lying. And again, they know their power. They know that they can lie. And they know that in many cases, the cops or whoever is going to side with them against the big, black, burly Negro man. All right. And with that, I'm going to close. And as I do when I close, I'm going to talk about deuces.